Okay, welcome to this video where we're going to look at multiplying and dividing fractions and mixed numbers. So I'm actually going to use mixed numbers in both cases because if you can do this with mixed numbers, you can do it with ordinary fractions, less than 1. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is turn these into improper fractions. So the first thing is to say that that is equal to 4 fours are 16 plus 3, 19. So the first part is equivalent to 19 quarters. Okay, and the second mixed number is equivalent to 5 ones are 5 plus 3 is 8. So it's 8 over 5, 8/5. Okay, now we just simply could multiply the two numerators together and the two denominators, but before we do that we tend to look for cancelling. In other words, anything on the top that is a multiple or factor of anything on the bottom. And as you can see, we have the 8 and the 4 here, so I could just cross them out and rewrite them as they both divide by 4 to give me 2 and a 1, but I'm just going to write it neatly next to it, so that's actually the same as 19 over 1 times 2 over 5. Okay, so I have effectively noticed a common factor of 4 in both of those two terms. All right, now I just multiply together. 2 19s are 38 on the top, and on the denominator I've got 1 times 5, which is 5. Now it's acceptable just to leave the answer as 38/5, but if you wanted to simplify it or put it back into mixed number form, you just say 5 into 38 goes 7. 7 5s make 35 with 3 left over, 7 3/5, and that's in mixed number form. Okay, so either of those are correct, and of course you could, if you wanted to, turn that into a decimal if the question required that. Okay, now what about division? Well, it's actually really easy. You've just got to remember one simple step, okay, that you need to do after you've converted them both into mixed numbers. So we'll do that first, into improper fractions. So 3 5s are 15 plus 2 is 17. So I'm starting in exactly the same way as before, and I've got 17 thirds divided by, now we have 1 9 is 9 plus 5 is 14. Okay, so it's 14 over 9. Now the step I'm talking about is that you simply reverse the second fraction, invert it, and then change the sign to a multiply. So 17 thirds times 9/14. Okay, now a simple way of thinking about this is if you imagine timesing by a half, it's the same as dividing by 2. Timesing by a third is the same as dividing by 3. Okay, and that's the same sort of reasoning as to what's going on here. We now do the same as we did up here. We look for obvious cancelling. The 9 and the 3 cancel to give us 3 over 1. So what I can do, instead of writing it out again, I can just show the cancelling by crossing through and writing neatly next to it. So the 9 it divides by 3 times, and the 3 divides by 3 once. Okay, and that takes me to the same sort of situation I was up here. No more cancelling to do. 17 and 14 don't cancel. 3 times 17 is 51. Okay, and on the denominator, 1 times 14 is 14. So 51 over 14. Okay, and we just see if we can reduce that any further. Okay, so I'm looking for a common multiple or factor rather of 51 and 14. I can't think of any. There's no number that divides into 14 and 51, so therefore that's the answer. Or if you prefer, you can see 14 into 51 goes 3 times, okay, which makes 42 remainder 9. So it's 3 and 9/14 if you wanted to write it as a mixed number. Okay, and that's a simple introduction with a couple of examples of multiplication and division of mixed numbers. Okay, hope that was helpful. Take care.